So when I look back into my founder journey, right, I think a lot of the things that were sort of scaring me to embark on this journey was the idea that I haven't done it yet, that I don't know what the future looks like. I don't even know if it will work. And over time, and I thank God each and every single day because it really reinforces my mission as to why I do the things that I do and why I've been privileged and blessed to be doing the work that I do, right? And for me, it all comes down to having the ability to have that proof of concept, right? And proof of concept for me is something that is so remarkable in my eyes because I went from leaving a 9 to 5 corporate role, right, not knowing what is going to happen, right? Obviously, bills have to be paid. You got that, you need to be bringing money in. But during that time, you're thinking, despite that, it's just like I'm no longer looking to be thinking to myself that this is life, this is it. And I always talk about the importance of unlearning, right? And being able to have capacity to unlearn so you can learn new things in your pursuit of success and the pursuit of doing things that ultimately no one has really done before within your sort of remit or your circle or whatever the case may be. And no matter what it takes, once you get that proof of concept lined up and you actually then realize that not only did you turn an idea into a sort of new way of living, or you turned a particular sort of idea into your head as a particular product or service that people want to buy, that changes everything. That it changes your, I'm sure it must change like a chemical formula in your brain because you go from not necessarily having the confidence to do it, but then there's something that gets you to that stage where you feel like you have no choice. And I suppose from what I've learned on my journey anyway, and speaking with many people, is that it happens in all various different forms and it happens in different time frames and it happens for all various reasons in order for making that particular leap, right? That leap of faith, they call it. My particular leap of faith was when I jumped out of the plane, 10,000 feet in the air. That for me made me realize that, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. We have one life, as I mentioned, and to use it not knowing or knowing that I'm not even using the abilities that I have to take things to a whole new level, bigger than what I've anticipated. I was doing myself a disservice. So I said, I need to step out and really give it a good go. And I believe I've been giving it a good go so far. It's been a blessing so far, as I've been saying. But it all comes down to the proof of concept that's always kept me going, right? And it's interesting because when I first started to pursue the idea of freelancing, because ultimately when I left my role, I started freelancing. And then after freelancing, I transitioned more into solopreneurship because I was thinking that there's bigger things I want to work on and do alongside the idea of building my brand. I want to be building my agency. And not only that, I want to build it to 7 figures. And alongside that, I want to build a community as well of like minded professionals who also want to build that level of visibility and credibility to get that level of brand authority so they can also change their lives. And I realized that my calling, I believe, is allowing other people to see that proof of concept. Whatever that proof of concept looks like for them, it varies. Their proof of concept could be getting their first piece of coverage in a trade magazine, right? Their sort of proof of concept could be generating their first 10K in the month. Like their proof of concept can be getting a testimonial from a client they worked with that now allows them to branch out and work with more people, as that testimonial was so strong, it it opened so many doors for them. Like, the proof of concept could even be someone reposting something you post on LinkedIn, and then now that that's been reposted, you now realize that, wow, I actually have people who like what I said enough to repost my content because they want to share it to other people. Like, even as a bare minimum, and I, like I said, I don't believe in vanity metrics, but when you are looking to build yourself up, right, to get to these opportunities, you got to take every win as a win, man. You got to take every sort of win you can find in the pursuit, because when you start to sort of disregard things that are genuinely good for you or beneficial for you, for your brand, that's when it gets a bit more tricky and harder to look at the positives and to know when you are looking well, or to even have a baseline based on seeing where you were and where you're going and how far you've come in the process. Because that one like or that one reshare can be the proof of concept that you may need to make you feel like, you know what, this is it for me. I'm gone. I'm going to a new place now. And that happens sometimes, but I suppose for most of us, the sort of proof of concept comes down to generating money, right? And what was interesting for me is that, obviously, with business and freelancing and all those things, there's going to be sort of moments where there may not be any money coming in. Like, I'll keep it real. There may not be actual money coming in at that time. But fortunately for me, from when I left my full-time role in July 2024, I got my first paid opportunity with a client the following probably 3 weeks, or maybe even 2 weeks after. So that for me was the first proof of concept that made me realize that it can be done. And despite the times where there may even be gaps in between, like getting more clients or generating more revenue, that for me was all it took to realize, if it can be done, then it can be done again and again and again. And granted, because it happened weeks following me leaving my role, it made me feel that it was written, that it was designed to be this way, because it happened within a short space of time. And when there's a gap in between from when you first get your first opportunity, and then there's a gap in between, and then there's like nothing coming in, right? I personally feel that that is a sign or a message from God saying that you have now embarked on this journey that you claim you want to do. You claim you want to achieve this. You claim that you want to get to the highest of highs, right? But how hard, how badly do you want this? How badly do you want this situation to be solidified, to just be a normal day in the life of you? How badly do you want it? And that's where I believe the first proof of concept is what keeps you anchored in your pursuit, and you're just determined to make it work, because it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't meant for you. It wouldn't have happened if it wasn't meant for you. And I suppose things happen for one of two reasons: for you to to learn from, or for you to live in, I would say. So you learn from it because it may have been a mistake or not something that was really meant for you, but you had to go through it to learn to be better. But then something that is for you, that's ordained, you live in it. It's something that you do day to day because it's part of your life now. And it's just something that you just get on with, right? And that's my belief into why the proof of concept is so important for all of us, for all founders of all different stages. There could be founders right, generating 30K, let's argue, monthly recurring revenue, they have that proof of concept solidified within the elements of money and being able to generate said money, right? Which then entails that yes, their sales process is great, is perfect, right? But then you have to bear in mind that although they have proof of concept in that area, their proof of concept in terms of being a more confident thought leader or a confident entrepreneur in the process of being able to improve their level of visibility, to showcase their credibility and to turn that credibility into additional recognized authority, right? That allows you to get more revenue generating opportunity. And that's what turns a 30K monthly recurring revenue founder into a 50K, 100K monthly recurring revenue. That is the gap, all because of the proof of concept. The proof of concept applies to every single one of us in different stages, right? And that is what I believe is my objective and my mission in this life when it comes down to my work, to work with people of all different sort of stages within their business life, right? Whether they're looking to hit their first 5 to 10K monthly recurring revenue, I help them to do that because I allow them and help them to see and to achieve that proof of concept that allows them to then solidify that as life. They solidify as this is my life now. This is what I've been able to achieve and do. So it can be done again and it can be done again. And the same applies to the person generating 30, 40K monthly recurring revenue. I help them to see the proof of concept of what it means when you become more visible, when you use the ideas of PR to make yourself that key person of influence and the obvious choice within your business. So not only is your element of your work amazing, but people can see your brand. They can see your personal brand. They can see your business brand. They can see how it all ties into your campaign and how effective your campaign is in order to generate interest from both the personal brand aspect and the business brand aspect. So even if your business brand is doing fantastically well, your personal brand is playing catch up. So when you build on that and it's aligned now, you're generating revenue from both angles. And that's how you're able to double, triple your revenue just off the back of that because of proof of concept. So for me, that is my mission and my objective. And that's the reason why I love the work that I do, because when I was able to get my first proof of concept in this life, right, based on something I thought about, and I managed to turn it into a real thing for myself, I said to myself, it has to happen again. It doesn't make any sense as to why it wouldn't happen again. So with that, I just want to encourage you all to find your proof of concept. Find it. And when you hit that proof of concept, document it. Let yourself immersed in the fact that you done it and no one else can ever take that away from you. And when you always step through knowing that is what you were able to do, all it is now is compounding. You compound and you compound and you compound until it gets to a point where you are no longer someone that anyone can doubt, right? Or someone anyone can even disregard their expertise, and you become that key person of influence and the obvious choice that you were always meant to be. You just need to work on getting that first proof of concept and you build from there. But on that note, if this video was helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you tomorrow. Peace out. Look after yourself.